We are here today to tell the story of KWEN. My name is Angela Lisan, co-founder of KWEN, and we are together here with Lily, who is co-founder of KWEN.
Hello.
KWEN started in 2014, and we actually started this organization, which is an NGO, because we felt that we needed to go back home. We both come from Bomet County, and in Bomet, and in our community especially, the women don't have much. The men own everything. You till the land, you pick the tea, it goes to the bank and it goes to the man's account. So the women are always having to ask for money from their husbands, and sometimes it becomes very unpleasant. Because if you're given, say, $1 today, the next day you will be asked. If you say you don't have sugar, you will be asked, what did you do? Or why we went back home. And we wanted to empower the women of Bomet so that they can be able to do certain things for themselves without having to depend on their husband all the time. Next slide, please. So our vision in KWEN is to have an empowered and productive society. We come from a very productive place. The weather is good, the land is fertile, but sometimes with lack of knowledge, you may end up not getting much from our lands. So that our vision is to get an empowered and productive society. Next slide, please. Our mission is to holistically empower community. What do we mean by to holistically empower the community? We want a community that is well-rounded in that they are able to eat well, they are able to have money in their pockets, they are able to send their children to school, and they have good health because they eat well. So our mission is to holistically empower our community. When we started KWEN, we decided we were going to do a few things. One of our mandate, therefore, is to empower women through table banking. And I'll expound on that later. Our second mandate is education for sustainable development. Our third mandate is agriculture, health and sanitation, and governance and women's rights. We'll be able to expound on this at a later stage. In KWEN, we have got values. Remember, we are working with women from Bomet County, and we also come from Bomet County. So one of our values is integrity. We want to do what is right at all times because we are dealing with our own people. I once met somebody who said, when you deal with somebody who speaks your language, they could always be your mother. So we want to be honest with them at all times. We are also committed to this venture of KWEN in that we want everyone who comes across us to know that we are going to do what we have told them we're going to do. We also want to be accountable. Remember, we're doing table banking, and we're dealing with money from people from very low levels. Therefore, we need to take care of their money at all times. We believe in teamwork because we know with teamwork you can achieve a lot. So we always work as a team, as the team of KWEN who are in the management, and we also work as a team with the groups that we have recruited. And we always work with diligence. We want to achieve what we have set out to do. So the overview of KWEN. When we set out to start KWEN, we worked with groups that were already existing and they were doing merry-go-rounds. I'll explain briefly what is a merry-go-round. About 20 women who come from the same vicinity would collect money, say 100 shillings, and they go to one of the group's members and they collect that 100 shillings. Maybe they collect 2,000 shillings on that particular day. They leave it for that lady where they have gone to have the meeting. And the things they used to do was to buy cups and to buy plates and to buy seats. And in our community, we believe the best is always kept for the visitors. So they would not touch those cups until when they have a visit. And if you reach their home, they'll be using a worn-out cup, but they'll never touch the one they bought. So we thought with these groups, we could introduce a new thought of how to come together as a group, and we started table banking. To date, we have got about 200 groups in Bomet County, and each of them has got about 20 women. What they do exactly the same thing, but they bring this money and put it on the table. So let's take one group, for example. Each person brings 100 shillings and there are 20 women. At the end of that meeting, they'll be having 2,000 shillings. And in that 2,000 shillings, they lend it out to any of the group members who wants to borrow. And that group member takes the money, and when they bring it after a month, they bring it with 10% interest. So when they come for the next meeting, which is normally one monthly meetings, the collection on the table will be 2,200. Now on that particular day, each of them will still bring a saving, and say they bring in 100 shillings again. So they have 2,200 from the last time. Now they have added another 2,000 shillings. So on that day, second month, they will be having 4,200. They will lend it to a few members, and the members will go and do their business for 1 month and bring that money with interest. So at the end of the second meeting, they would be having an interest of 420 shillings. And at that second meeting, they will be having 4,620 shillings. That money will be lent out again, and in the third month, they'll put it on the table and bring in a saving of 100 shillings. So we are teaching our members to make a saving of 100 shillings every month, and it's added on to what had been borrowed. And that is how the money grows. Right now, 5 years later, our groups have got a total revolving fund of about 20 million shillings. Now, how do we sustain these groups? The groups, usually when there is a training, we have a trainer who goes to train the groups. And the groups will pay 1% of whatever is on the table to the organization to be able to run the groups. Now, we only charge 1% once the group has 10,000 Kenya shillings, and we charge 1% up to a maximum of 3,000 shillings. If a group has more than 300,000 shillings, they will still be charged 3,000 shillings. Our team in the office is composed of a project manager. We have 4 trainers, and we have an accountant who makes sure that all the groups, their money is taken care of and there are no defaulters. To date, we have not received any external funds, and we've been in existence since 2014. So I can comfortably say we have been self-sustainable. Today, our women are happy. They have security, they have money of their own, they are able to do whatever they want to do. They've created their own businesses, and we are excited about where we have reached. What is the KWEN model? The KWEN model is about the principles of the technology of peace. We tap into our potential. we realized that each of us has a very great potential. When we were growing up, a lot of us had things they could be able to do. But as we grew up, some of those potentials were killed. But now in KWEN, we're actually encouraging the women to look into what they can do, they are talented in, and they should be able to do it very well. Like, for example, where we come from, we plant a crop called millet. I don't know if you know millet, and we know, if you want to know to plant millet, there are people who, when they plant millet, it does very well. So when you want to do millet in your farm, you go and look for that lady to come and plant for you. They don't add anything else. It's just that they are talented. We are also believe in trusting each other. We trust our groups, we trust our women, we trust our trainers, and we just work together in the spirit of trust. We also believe in transforming our problems to find solutions. We have so many problems where we are, but we also have the solutions within us. So we have identified some of the problems that we have, and we have found solutions from within. That's why I can comfortably say we are actually self-sustainable in that we have been able to run KWEN without any external funding this far. Thank you. Next slide, please. So, table banking. I think I had alluded to this earlier. You can see that picture, and that is actually a picture of table banking going on at the moment. So this group, suppose there are 20 women, and each of them will bring in 100 shillings. So at the end of collecting the money, they'll be having 2,000 shillings, and they will lend it to one or two or three of the members who will go out and create their own business. When they bring back after 1 month, they will pay with 10% interest. And we have 200 of these groups. And since 2014 to date, we have groups that have got between 200,000 shillings and some even have up to 1 million Kenya shillings. So these women have actually multiplied their money from the initial by between 100 to 500 times. I don't know if any bank would give you 500% on money that you have, but these women have actually multiplied their money up to 500 times. Next slide, please. So we have women who are actually very excited about where they've reached. When we go to their groups, they tell us they do not know what they would do if we had not introduced them into table banking. They are really, really excited. Some of them have been able to do proper farming. Some of them have been able to set up big shops. Some of them supplies milk to schools and various businesses that they are doing individually, independent of their spouses. And we are really, really excited about where they have reached. You can actually see the women excited when you visit their groups and see that their lives have actually transformed. We have taken a sample of 5 groups from the groups that we have got. We have some of them from the worst to the best. So we have 5 groups here. Such Somok Ndanai started with 1,840 shillings. And right now, they have 369,300 shillings. That is a growth of 201. That's a multiplication factor of 201. I think that is phenomenal. We have another group which started, Judea, started with 4,000 970, and now they have 444,980. Let me tell you, some of these women had never seen a 1,000 Kenya shilling note. But now when they are dealing with 444,000, that's a lot of money. We have one group here which started with 2,100 shillings, and they have multiplied their money by 542 times to 1,139,075 Kenya shillings. I think this is very, very exciting. And yet we have one which has multiplied only 29 times. But when you see some of these groups, even that 29 times is still big compared to if you're keeping your money in. If I kept 1,930 in the bank, I don't know when it will become 56,000. Shunem has grown in other ways apart from this multiplication factor of 171 times. I think this is really exciting.
Angela,
yes.
Maybe you can elaborate on Shonem, because it's not only the money multiplication, it was a transformation of the woman.
We've got a slide which we're going to talk about. Yes. So if we look at it in another way, in a bar chart, I don't know if it's called a bar chart, but in this figure here, you can see the multiplication factor. The blue one is where they started. The orange one is where they are now. And you can see for such Somo, it has multiplied, I don't know how many times, but each of them has really multiplied. So this was just to show you the difference between when we started and where our groups are now. Their money has really multiplied. And it's not only about the money, it's about the transformation that has happened in the lives of these women. Like Kial is saying, I'm going to talk about Shunem, maybe in the next few slides. But also all these other groups, each of the group has got a business they are doing, and each woman has got something they wake up to do every morning. And at the end of the day, they would have earned some money from it. Thank you. The name of the group is called Chetembe, and they've actually, each of them, if you can see, each of them has picked some spinach, and they'll be able to take it back and have spinach for dinner tonight. So these seeds are good in that the weather does not affect these particular crops as badly as the hybrid seeds. If these were hybrid seeds, there would be nothing on them.
Angela, I see men there. I see some men. Say something about them.
Yes, actually, sorry. Each of our group, we are calling them women groups, but some groups, they have got men, and we allow 30% of the members of the group to become men, but they cannot hold official positions. So they cannot be the chair, the vice chair, or the treasurer. So for them to qualify as a woman group, it can only have 30% men, and the rest must be women, and the officials must be women. So yes, we have men in our groups. Next. So here we have the group Shunem. Shunem group was a group that was started from very low beginnings. This was a group that most of the women were dealing in alcohol illegally, and one of the members actually picked them up and got them into a group and started teaching them on what they could, alternative things they could do apart from doing alcohol. Alcohol in Kenya local brew is illegal, and therefore most of the time when they were doing this, they would be arrested, and they were going through a lot of challenges, and they were not even able to feed their families. So when they came into this group, they called it Shunem, and they started being taught of what else they can do. And they started table banking, and they have grown as a group. Right now, some of the members grow vegetables. Some of them, instead of selling alcohol, they sell porridge. They have started a group that does jewelry, and they sell the jewelry in the town. And they have many other things they are doing. This is a very transformed group. We have watched them grow from very low beginnings, and right now they have, even the way they dress, the way they carry themselves, this is a transformed group. They have overcome alcoholism, and they have actually improved their physical and mental well-being. This is our portrait of success, the Shunem group. Next slide, please. So these are some of the ornaments that the Shunem group does. They actually get beads and they put them together. They come together once a week and they do these crafts, and they are able to sell and they are able to make money. There are several other businesses that our groups have been able to do. Like there are groups that do dairy and they do value addition of the milk. They do a traditional value addition called mursik, but some of them are also doing yogurt at the moment. We have groups that do poultry, both traditional and the modern poultry. We have a lot of them who do agriculture, kitchen gardens, tea business, they buy and sell. Some of them run shops, and like Shunem, they do the crafts and they're able to sell the ornaments that they make. So our groups have been able to transform their lives. The women are able to make money from the activities that they are doing, and they're able to just run their lives without a lot of difficulty at the moment. We have groups that do honey. You see in that picture, one of the groups, Jerusalem, actually does honey, and that is very exciting. Next slide, please.
Can I ask?
Yes.
I just wanted to ask about these women. How did their families accepted these changes that they had through? It's not easy to make these changes in closed communities. Did you have any difficulties in this way?
No, we don't have any difficulty. We have not had any difficulties because these women, they actually work from their homes. The groups meet only once a week, once a month, and they go for that meeting for a maximum of 1 hour. So they are not away from their homes for a long time. And then each of them goes back to their homes and they have found something to do in the home. So they are not actually taken out of the homes. So we have not met any resistance, especially from their spouses. In fact, the spouses are quite happy because they are able to contribute to the well-being of the family. I hope I've answered your question.
Angela, maybe you can elaborate what is the way of thinking behind it, so to empower the woman without getting the resistance of the husband. And also, I think you encounter a few times some challenges with the husband.
Sorry, Eyal,
I say, if you can elaborate of some example, I think you put a lot of thinking how to, that there will be no resistance. Okay? Can you hear me?
No. Lily, can you help me?
Okay, an empowered home is by empowering a woman. look at this woman who's been quite a drunkard. The home is in a mess. And she finds a solution in a group of women whereby they can sit down and do a constructive activity together. And on top of that, this woman is able to buy some food, have a clean home. No man can resist that. So that's why we rarely have resistance, especially when it came to Shunem Group. Instead, the men came and appreciated us. The last time we had a meeting together there, I know they came and they were quite appreciative. But at first, when it started that they're going for a women group, there can be some resistance because they don't know what is going to happen there. But when they see change, they kind of appreciate the change that has happened.
I appreciate the questions, but it's good because we want to interact. But can we let her finish first? Then we bring the question. There'll be time for questions, about 10 minutes. So if Angela can proceed so that we can now wrap up and be able to ask questions.
Next slide, please. I think we are almost done. So what is the future of KWEN? Next slide, please.
George, can you move one slide?
What is the future of KWEN? What do we see for the future? Right now, where we have reached, we are empowered and we are seeing that in the dairy sector, we need to be able to improve productivity, especially through partnerships of people who may be in our county or in the country who know how to do dairy better. Right now, say if we are producing 10 liters per cow, what can we do to be able to produce 20? So we are looking for partnerships for people who will give us training on how to improve what we are already doing. We also want to venture into the coffee sector, and we want to see how we can improve the yields of our coffee so that if we are producing 2 kgs today, what can we do to be able to produce 20 kgs per tree? We also want to look at possibilities of having every woman to have a kitchen garden. Right now, we have not reached there, but we are stressing it, especially we have seen the top shamba that this COVID period, we need to eat well. So we are stressing to our women that everyone must have a kitchen shamba to be able to produce food for the family and to be able to sell excess. So this far we have come with KWEN, and we are really, really excited because we've seen transformed lives, and we believe that we can transform some more. We have 200 groups, but we have not stopped. We're still recruiting some more, and we are hoping that we can at least have more groups to be able to touch more homes in Bomet County and beyond. We've been in Bomet County, but we want to move to other counties. So that is our story. It's been exciting, and the most exciting part is that it is self-sustainable. The groups are going on even without any external funding. They've got better knowledge. They are able to handle a lot of money. They are able to do their daily activities without feeling oppressed that they don't have money. I also want to say that where we come from, because the women don't have title deeds, we had a challenge even getting loans from the banks, but we don't have a challenge anymore because you just need to go to your group and you're able to borrow from your group, and you're able to do the activity that you desire to do. So this is about KWEN. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Kiyal?
Yes. Okay, any question?
Maybe Lily wants to add something.
I think you, Angela, you've covered actually very well about our organization. And I know it's been quite informative. And like you said, we are working towards growth. And I'm sure next time we'll have a story when we start having great, our members having great stories in realization of their produce and also the money that comes into their pockets. Thank you.
Thank you, Lily and Angela. That is powerful. Maybe in the next 5 minutes, because our time is just very short now, I want first to let's hear from our guests who are hearing this for the first time. If somebody has something to say, or a question, or just a word to share. Very fast, please.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm Paul Njogona, and I really appreciate for the efforts you have in transforming our society. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Njuguna. It appears your network's not very good, but Njuguna is appreciating. Somebody else, the question?
There is a question on the chat. What
No, I just wanted to say it's a very fantastic project, especially which is made for women. I think it's a good idea, and also it gives us some motivation to think how to do it, how to make something similar maybe. Thank you so much, and good luck all the time.
Thank you, Kefa.
Thank you. Maybe,
yes.
Maybe I can answer the question that is being posted on the wall.
Okay.
About what happens if someone borrows and cannot bring the money or cannot bring the interest back, and how do they keep the money safely? One thing is that we said one of the key elements of our model is trust, and trust has kept us going. And what happens is everybody who borrows actually brings the money to the table. They rarely fail. Maybe only they stagger the payment, but they fail because we keep these are people who know each other very well, so they keep a track of each other. And most of these groups are from a neighborhood, so there are people who know each other. So most of the time, the money doesn't get lost because they keep each other. And this money is not kept by anybody, because when we talk about even that 1 million shillings or $10,000, it comes to the table and the money is shared again as loans. And by the time the meeting ends, all the monies have been borrowed, so no money goes to the bank. It goes back to the women, and it goes back to the members of the groups. So the money just comes. Within the hour, it goes back to their pockets.
So Lily, you need to address that question of safety. There's a question there: how do they keep the money safely?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. The money is not kept anywhere by us. It is kept by the people themselves.
Oh, the money is on the move. Okay.
It's on the move, yes.
Good, good. So we have the figures in the paper, but the money is on the move.
Exactly.
Then that issue of people defaulting, and I think no wonder the men are few. It appears that the men easily default, huh?
Most likely.
One more question.
I wanted to ask
Yes.
I wanted to ask how do the women raise or get the 100 shilling at first?
What we did is we empower them in different activities and using the resources that they have, they are within their reach. We have some who keep poultry, so they sell their eggs. We have some who do small gardens, so they sell the vegetables. We one time also showed others how to do soap. So they manufacture the soap and sell. We've seen the beadwork by the Shunem group. We've seen honey. So they have different activities, and we've been able to show them that from those different activities, they can sell it within themselves and they can be able to get money, save some and use some for their home use. So, and the savings they bring to the table.
Tapping their potential. In other words, you are saying each of those women have a potential even to raise 100 shillings. And from there, they can start on it and make it even better.
Yes.
Any other question?
Yes. Yes, James, I have a question. I have...
yes, just Jen.
Yes, I'm very excited about the idea of changing lifestyle from alcohol brewing to alternative means of making money. I also am happy about the kitchen gardening. I just wanted to know, do they have a constant source of water? Because in this season, there are some areas that have been very dry, and then there are some areas that too much rain also affected the harvest. So that is what I wanted to hear about the source of water for their kitchen gardens and all that. And to congratulate them for the alternative source of making money other than alcohol brewing.
Thank you so much, Jen. Thank you so much, Jen, for that question. Yeah. I thank God because where we come from in Bomet, at least I can say we have rain almost throughout the year. So we never lack water as much. We get the natural water, but also because of the natural water, we have streams that most of the time passes across our land. And in areas that are a bit dry, most people have sung in some wells. So at least I can say we don't have a problem of water maybe in Bomet. We always have water.
And top Shamba is coming in with a conical garden where you don't need much water. Yep. So you simply use the same water used in the kitchen, can have your garden going on through the year. Thank you. Well, it is 5.
Thank you.
Now, I have one question before you leave, guys. Angela, there is this question, Angela and Lily. We are looking at the electric moment, the time of change. What happened when Yal came and talked about mindset shift? How did it impact the KWEN as a group?
The greatest story about our meeting here and the impact that it brought is actually tapping our potential. And I keep saying there's this group of women. What Yal did, we brought in leaders, about 100 leaders, and they were taught about mindset change, that they can use whatever they have to grow themselves. And out of that, they were given 6 months to come and tell the story of how they changed, or they have changed themselves, and out of they have changed their groups. And there's this one group that really surpassed. If they were to get an examination, they would have gotten more than 100%. They went and they had their chicken. Normally, they had their chicken, and they were a group of 20 women and men, included 30% men. And what they decided to do is that using this chicken, we want everybody to have an hen. So they had a cock and a chicken, and they bought eggs. And within a span of 6 months, they had more than 100 chicken, because the chicken was able to keep hatching and keep hatching. and they were able to build a big chicken house. And they had eggs, and from the chicken waste, they were able to have beautiful gardens. That was a great story that many other groups replicated, but that was a great mindset change that Yal brought. And we are really proud that he touched those women. And that is why the growth of our organization has been like this to date.
And the growth just shot up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We are closing. We are closing. I don't hear your voice.
So first of all, I'm very excited and to see one of the. For me, it's a sign that the bank system moved back to the hands of the people. And if it moved back to the hands of the people, the change is here and it's very quick. So I think it's a great lesson, and we have to see how can we apply it in other places. But instead of banking taking our money, we can create our own local way of banking, and then the growth is times 100. So I think it's lesson from Africa we have to learn. We have to see how can we apply it in a different setting. But the way that a woman can lead is the best way forward. I was saying before, headmasters and educator, and it would take me there months or years, I could do with this woman in 2 days. So it's really exciting and show that and then they are making it 100 times more in no time. So the secret is really, and the power is now in the woman, but also with the support of men, as Angela pointed out. So we put it in a good balance, so the change is with the people and with the husband. It's not against them. So I think it's something very wise, and every time I hear, I understand better and better what they are doing, and keep on admiring you.
Thank you, Yal. Jane of August. We are presenting yet another successful story from Kenya. Is Sebastian in the room?
Yes.
Sebastian? Hello, Sebastian Wambugu.
Yes, I'm in.
Just an appetizer of what Yal is going to tell us next month. Just an appetizer, a teaser.
Yes, next month will be the story of YAD, a youth organization that was founded by young people that are looking into agriculture, looking at technology, involving in resolving conflict and building peace by children, and also doing the green wall technology.
Wow.
So that will be part of our story to this great theme. Thank you.
Thank you, Sebastian.
Thank you. I think that's the secret that Lily and Angela were able to do, is to build on trust. And I think maybe we can learn more lesson how you have done it, Lily and Angela, but this is the foundation. Yes. And that's the key.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so thank you, everybody. And we are looking forward to meet you in 1 month. There are other great successful story, and hope soon we can have also success story from East Jerusalem.